Hey guys, welcome back to Duality 7X. Today I want to talk about probably one of the most exciting boxing fights that I had the pleasure of watching on October 11th. And I got a chance to honestly witness history. Jaron, Boots, Ennis. Guys, this guy's on the rise. There's a lot of arguments or a lot of people actually talking about the possibility that this guy, Jaron Boots Ennis, could technically be pound for pound the king of boxing as we know it today. I'll break down his 154-pound debut. We'll talk a little bit about his skill sets and speculate where he can potentially go next. Now, I'll also share my personal take on whether he's ready for the biggest names in the division. And guys, this guy's serious. He's all business. That's exactly what you want to see in a fighter. Like they say, save the drama for your mama. This guy's the real deal, all right? Pound for pound, probably the future pound for pound king at the 154 pound in the 154 pound weight class. He's absolutely incredible, and he didn't just win. And I'll talk about who he fought, and I'll talk about that win. He didn't just win. This man came out to make a statement, and a statement to the entire division, the entire world of boxing, and to all the fans in combat sports, not just boxing fans, pretty much fans all across, the different genres of fighting. He's absolutely incredible, and we'll get to why he's so special. We're going to break it all down. So thank you guys. Welcome back again to Duality 7X. I'm your host Shiraz. Here we try to cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. There's no fluff here, guys. It's raw, unfiltered, real takes, right? So let's talk about Jaron Boots Ennis. This man secured the WBA interim super welterweight title with the first round TKO over Usman Lima from Portugal on October 11th this year, guys, in Philadelphia, home of brotherly love. And look, he dropped the Brazilian twice before the referee had to stop the bout at 1 minute 58 seconds of the first round. This man is undefeated. He's 28 years old. He improves his record now to 35-0 with 31 by way of knockouts, and all in a super welterweight debut. All right. So, and now he's also ranked number 7 by Ring Magazine and number 3 by ESPN. And Ennis just called out Virgil Ortiz Jr. post-fight with promoters potentially agreeing to terms for a potential early 2026 matchup. Guys, this is going to be absolutely incredible. If you're a fight fan, and if you're a boxing fan, or you're just getting into boxing, guys, you have to watch Jaron fight. All right? He is so technical. He is so skilled. He reminds me of a young Sugar Shane Mosley, young Roy Jones Jr. This man has so much skill sets. It's absolutely incredible. And the thing is, he's relentless. He doesn't fear anything. So fighters need to take note. But yeah, this. And look, I'm going to explain why this matters, guys, because Jaron, he dominated at welterweight, all right? But cutting weight obviously was tough. It's cutting weight for any fighter is tough. I keep talking about this, guys. Cutting weight is probably one of the most hardest things for a fighter to do, aside from the training, dieting, nutrition, all that kind of stuff that comes along with prepping for a fight. Cutting weight is a big deal, and sometimes if you cut weight too fast, you might actually put your body at more harm and at more risk. This is why sometimes fighters come out looking really flat compared to how they looked during the pre-fights and the training and all that. Have you noticed that some fighters just look completely flat, that they're just have no energy, no nothing? And a lot of that could be because they cut way too fast, or it was really, really difficult for them to endure. Especially for new fighters, it's hard. But if you're a seasoned fighter, if you've been through the drill on more than one occasion, then obviously it starts to become kind of by habit, becomes routine. People start to get it down to a science. But anyways, Jaron moved up to 154 pounds in his debut, all right? And a lot of people thought, well, by him doing that, that could also be a little bit of a challenge for him. And people were wondering if this is actually the right move and how he was going to fare. But I mean, this guy destroyed Usman Lima like in just under 2 minutes. It wasn't even a match. And, during his entrance and everything, the cameras were on Usman. And he just looked so calm, and he looked like he almost had a chip on his shoulder, like a little bit of a smirk, a grin, and like almost like he had this. He had this. At one point, I was actually thinking, well, I wonder what this fighter from Portugal is going to bring to the table, because he looks super overconfident. And I was actually thinking this guy, he might actually do some damage. This is going to be a good fight. But no, he got decimated within 2 minutes. And now you got Jaron, like he's calling out big names. I mean, he's calling out guys like Virgil Ortiz Jr., Jermel Charlo. He's calling out Sebastian Fundura. Like, these guys are big fighters. He's not going for small time fighters, guys. He wants the top of the top. And Virgil Ortiz Jr., he's ranked number 1 right now. Sebastian Fundura is ranked number 2. These guys are really, really big, right? And so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But now his promoter even hinted that he could potentially be pound for pound number 1 within the next year. I mean, if he takes on number 1 Virgil Ortiz Jr. and if he wins, wow. That honestly cements his legacy. And look, this isn't just hype. This is a guy making a serious run at the top of boxing, right? Ennis looked absolutely incredible during his fight against Usman. He looked stronger than he looked before. He looked sharper, and all thanks to him moving up weight. He knocked down a very, very skilled tactician. He knocked down Usman Lima twice, all within 2 minutes. And then the referee came in and he's just like, no, enough's enough. And he finished with a beautiful, clean, like uppercut flurry. And, if anyone had any doubt, that's all pretty much washed away down the drain, right? He pretty much, again, I said he didn't just come out to fight. He came out to make a statement. And after the fight, he actually openly talked about targeting these elite names that I just mentioned off in the division. I mean, Eddie Hearn himself, he came out, he was there in Philadelphia. He came out to, Jaron's entrance and everything. And Eddie Hearn said that he could, and he's talking about his fighter. He's talking about Jaron Boots Ennis, that he could potentially dethrone current pound for pound leaders, such as even the likes of Terence Crawford. Can you imagine that? I mean, this is a young fighter staking his claim, and he's not shy about it, guys. He's calling it like it is, and he knows it. He feels it, he lives it, he breathes it. So moving up, I think, was a smart decision for him in his camp. He honestly looked like he was very explosive. He had more energy, more power, and less drain from cutting, guys, which is great. I mean, finishing a fight that fast in boxing is super impressive. Now, the real test is going to begin. The real test is going to be, how does he fare against elite opponents, right? You got number 1, Virgil Ortiz Jr. You got number 2, Sebastian Fundura. You got Israel Madmirov, number 3. And if I were to name the other one, guys, you got Bakram, you got Erickson, you got Xander, you got all these names ahead of you. Remember, he's ranked right now number 7. And he's not happy where he's at. He wants to climb that ladder fast. So if he has to take on a guy like Zayas, if he had to take on a guy like Bakram, I mean, yeah, he could do it. But, I think he's very capable. And with Eddie Hearn in his corner, I think he's very capable to go right to the top. I think he could take on an Israel, or he could take on a Sebastian, he could take on a Virgil. Like, honestly, any one of those fighters, this is what I'm talking about. These are the elite opponents in his division, and if he can win against either one of those guys, or win at least a couple of those guys, it's going to cement his legacy for pound, probably not only the greatest fighter in his division, but probably really challenge the pound for pound talk of who's the greatest champion right now in this era. And he's gunning for that top spot that's currently owned by Terence Crawford. All right, and that's quite ambitious. Ambitious for a young fighter like Ennis, But Ennis has got the tools. He's got the speed and he's got the power. He's got the ring IQ. What else do you want in a fighter? Right? The key in all this is going to be consistency, right? He needs to maintain this level against top tier competition. Yeah, he dismantled Usman Lima. He did. But, I mean, Usman, I don't know if he had an off night or what. It's very possible he did. But, I mean, yeah, it was impressive. But can he do it again in that kind of fashion against one of the top 3 or top 5 guys in the division, right? Honestly, I think he's got a shot at pound for pound number 1, but only if he backs it up with another fight. And he doesn't have to win in the same kind of fashion, but I don't want him to win a decision. I want him to win the same way he won before. He doesn't have to do it within 2 minutes within the first round. But I mean, if he could win by like TKO, or he, like he owns his opponent in the ring, then there's no question, guys. There's no question, right? So the things that we need to kind of speculate, and what some of the things that's kind of going through my head is like, what if he does take on the likes of, say, a Virgil Ortiz next, right? Like he's taking on the number 1 guy in the division, right? Does he then become the next big real threat to the division? And obviously he would, by taking out the number 1 guy. But what if he stumbles? Then what happens? Critics are going to pounce all over him. The hype is going to fade super fast for this guy. And in boxing, it's really hard to climb that ladder to the top of the mountain in boxing, but it's really easy to fall as well too. And so he's got to be very, very careful moving up. So if he moves even a little bit higher, if he goes up another 6 pounds to say 160 pounds, now we're talking bigger weight, bigger risk. But with bigger weight, bigger risk, anytime you have bigger risk is followed up with, or equates to, bigger rewards. The ripple effect, however, and I'm thinking about Jaron here, is that, if he's setting kind of a new standard for like rising prospects in the sport, I mean, his next few fights are ultimately going to decide if he's a future legend or just a hype machine. And there's a lot more hype machines than there is potential legends. So my question to you is, do you think Jaron is actually going to be a pound for pound number 1 in the next year? Do you think, who do you think in the 154 pound weight class will be a real test for him? And what matters more? Is it hype or is it results? Right? So, I'm really curious to see. I mean, even you have like Jesus Ramos, you got Abbas Baru. I mean, these guys are in the top 10 in that division. And they're not too far away from Jaron. But the way Jaron won that fight, guys, that it's a different level. 100% different level, right? So obviously moving up to 154, that was a huge statement, a huge risk. But now that risk is being, now he's enjoying the fruits of his rewards, like his risk. There's a lot of rewards that are coming along with it. His names are being circulated and in some of the top echelon tiers of fights potentially. And now these big names are starting to take notice of Boots. So in my opinion, I mean, he's doing everything right. He has everything from a tools perspective, skills perspective. He has everything that he needs to rise to the top. And honestly, his next fight is going to be it's going to be history making for him. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, guys, please smash the like and subscribe. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk. We got plenty more hot takes coming. We also have Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Roach coming up, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then also this weekend, guys, we got UFC Fight Night in Vancouver. We got RDR taking on Allen. There's a lot of great fights on that card, so we'll try to break some of that down tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoy the rest of your guys' night. We'll catch you guys on the next one.